Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Tuesday morning, afternoon or evening across where we may be at. And today I'm going to be doing a video about the Reform Deputy Leader Richard Tice after his comments on the Reform conference yesterday about SEND and disability and neurodiverse conditions. I will link the video from the Independent down below in the video comment section so you can watch it for yourself and make your own determinations and opinions. This is all my own opinions, and these are the bits that I'm going to be talking about. So his comments start at 8 minutes 20 on the video, and so he talks about neurodiverse conditions being overdiagnosed and labelled as a problem, which I don't like that language. I think the language is absolutely abhorrent, and he has no regard or sympathy or empathy for people like us whatsoever. Then he talks about how that we are causing a crisis for the government. What? The problem that is causing for us is the fact that the government and local associations and local mental health facilities who diagnose neurodiverse conditions don't have enough funding or enough staff to get through the assessment period. At the moment, in my part of the UK, it is a 4.5 year waiting list for an ASD assessment. It's absolutely ridiculous because of the lack of funding and lack of staff within the field to do the assessments to carry each and every one of them out. And the reason why there is more assessments, he says there's too many assessments, there's a crisis of assessments. I'm sorry, that's because we've picked it up more, we're better at assessing it, diagnosing it, treating it, and we're better at giving long-term support to people who are going through the assessment for a neurodiverse condition or a learning disability. And then he goes on to say about EHCP plans, which stands for Educational Healthcare Plans, and he says that they are 3 times more than that what they used to be, and they cost 10 billion a year. Well, I'm not being funny, that 10 billion a year is essential for the young people and young children, young people that are going through school, whether it's mainstream, private, special needs school, college. That 10 billion is essential for them to have a successful learning outcome, a successful educational outcome, because people who do identify as having special educational needs or disabilities or a neurodiverse condition deserve to have the best care possible, what they're entitled to. And then he says that there's too much money not being given to interventions. Well, no, interventions aren't suitable for all people with a SEND condition, a neurodiverse condition, or learning disability or otherwise. These interventions simply do not work a lot of the time. I know what he's aiming at. He's aiming at things like cognitive behavioural therapy, applied behaviour analysis, things that are damaging and wrong on so many levels and make children worse with trauma and do not help them at all in the long run. And then he says that middle class parents are playing the game, they're abusing the system when it comes to school transport. What? A lot of these parents are working full time, 30, 40, 50 plus hours a week to keep food, money on the table for their children and for themselves, and he says it costs $2,000 to $4,000 a year to keep up the cost of an EHCP. Well, that covers transport then, surely. If you're saying that we are spending too much as a country for SEND, disability and neurodiverse conditions, then sorry, but that's the essential spending. We need to be looking after our young people, our adults with SEND, disabilities, neurodiverse conditions. I'm a neurodiverse person. I'm an autistic person. So are you saying that I'm a problem? Are you saying that someone like me who functions, goes out, gives talks, helps out in the local community is a problem? Are you saying that I'm part of the government spending money? Like, what? It's insane. And the fact that you say that the School Transport Act needs to be updated, it hasn't been updated since 1844. Well, yes, I agree with you, because the School Transport Act covers school transport. That is what that legislation is for. It is something that is essential to transport neurodiverse, learning disabled, people with SEND conditions to get to school for a full-time education. It is paid by the government to get these children into these educational establishments where they can learn, have a successful future, and do the best that they can do considering their diagnoses and background. And then you think this needs to be rethought about and potentially scrapped. What? Are you serious? Seriously, Richard? Like, you have no idea what it's like to be neurodiverse and disabled. You have no idea what it's like to be a SEND person, a person who campaigns for SEND. I've been campaigning for SEND and autism for over 10 years. You know nothing of the struggles of what it's like to go out to my local community, hear parents crying and adults crying because they're not getting services and access to benefits and things that they are entitled to. How dare you? How dare you stand there and be so smug about, oh, we need to cut funding and they're abusing the system. What? That money is awarded to young people, young adults, older adults, with SEND or without SEND or with neurodiverse conditions because the government sees us as disabled. That money is ours to have, that money is ours to talk about, and that money is ours to help us live a fully independent, functioning life to look after ourselves and pay our bills and our rent. That is what our money is for. That's what we get it for. We don't get it to live a nice, top of the high-rise, famous life. No. It's a basic allowance to help us fully function, be independent, and to use it on aides or caretaking staff or cleaning staff or things that we need to keep our lives independent. How dare you stand there and be like, well, we need to cut this, we need to cut that regards to SEND. What? You have no idea what it's like to live a SEND life. You are a businessman, real estate agent is what you've said. You're not a politician, you're in a political party for God knows why. We do not know. And then you've said that that the neurodiverse conditions are made up. How the hell have you come to that determination that my condition's made up? What? Are you serious? I was fully diagnosed and assessed by a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a social worker, and I had an assessment for over 6 months. I was assessed for over 6 months. I had to go back for 3-4 hour sessions every week and go through my whole life history, my being born history, my early education history, my late education history, my working history, what I do now, my medical history before that. You have no idea what it's like to go through a SEND or autism or ADHD or learning disability diagnosis. You don't know. You haven't been through the process. You don't know what it's like to be upset and anxious and depressed and fidgety and agitated and irritated and questioning everything what's wrong with you and why can't you function properly. Like, you don't understand what it's like for us to go through this process. I do. I went through it for over 6 months to nearly a year. I went through it. I know what it's like to be a SEND person. I know what it's like to be an autistic neurodiverse person. You don't. Shut up. Seriously. And then he says that we need to put it back to the teachers and the education system to look after us because other neurotypical children without the label are feeling left out. Bullshit. Sorry, that's bullshit. Sorry, that's complete and utter bullshit. You have no right to say that children who are neurotypical are being left out because they haven't got a label. Getting a label, a diagnosis, help, support is the thing that we need. I've gone through every DWP course on the job centre job searching line that I've done. I've completed it, not got a job. I've done work experience, not got a job. And I'm sick of you saying things like, oh, wearing ear defenders in public or in classrooms needs to stop. It's apparently insane and embarrassing because it makes us stand out. Well, I'm sorry, wearing headphones or ear defenders is to reduce noise, auditory processing, sensory processing, heightened emotions which you know clearly nothing about. And it's really offensive for you to stand here and say, this needs to stop, you need to stop acting like this. What? And each teacher has 30 plus students in a class at a time, or he has 30 plus students in a time. How the hell can you sit there and say, oh, we need to give the assessment and referrals back to the teachers for SEND referrals? They're not qualified to do SEND referrals, they're teachers. The people who are qualified to do SEND referrals are the NHS or mental health CAM services. They are the people that have worked in this field, are qualified in this field. They are people who are trained and mentally trained, physically trained, have been to college, university for this purpose. You're saying give it back to the teachers. Are you insane? Are you stupid? Seriously, Richard? Like, you are so out of touch, dude. It boggles my mind to think how thick and dumb you actually are. Like, what the fuck? Seriously? And then you're saying that people with educational needs are abusing the system and that we are overplaying the SEND system. What? The SEND system is broken. It doesn't work. It doesn't function. It needs to be scrapped and rewritten and restarted. And then you're saying that too many assessments for neurodiverse conditions are being done across England. Huh? How does that make sense? Seriously? And then the reason why these assessments and diagnoses have been undertaken and given is because it's better training, better assessment professionals, better establishments for safety and healthcare. And for you to say that there's a legal requirement to review neurodiverse conditions and mental health, are you thick? Are you really that immature and that stupid, Richard? Come on. You're a man in your 60s. Like, what the fuck? Like, come and talk to us. Spend time with us. Come to know what we're about. Spend time with us. Come and chat to us rather than saying that we need to be revalued or reviewed or that we're abusing the system. Come and spend a day with me. I can guarantee you I'm not playing the system at all. I've been awarded my money. I'm autistic, I have anxiety disorder, and I am able to speak out for people like me who can't, because people like you want to make stupid, illogical, immoral judgments because you don't know what you're talking about. You and Nigel Farage need to seriously shut up. Seriously, like, what the hell? Like, you don't know what it's like to campaign for SEND, clearly, and the example you gave saying you know someone that's been given mental health drugs for a neurodiverse condition. Well, they obviously have an underlying condition such as bipolar or OCD or unstable personality disorder or, some form of mental health diagnosis that's underlying the ECHP that person's got. And drugs are a short-term thing. Not all drugs will be lifelong or are lifelong. And the fact that you are being that ignorant and that dumb and that stupid to say that we're playing and abusing the system, what? Seriously, take a good hard look at yourself, Richard. Reevaluate what you've said about the SEND and neurodiverse community, because you've attacked us time and time and time and time and time again. And your leader, Nigel Farage, isn't much better on that front point either. Both of you need to take a serious look at yourself and stop with the hate towards the SEND and neurodiverse community, because we will come for you. Seriously, don't expect us to be silent about this. Enough is enough of taking advantage of the learning disabled, autistic, neurodiverse, people with EHCP and SEND conditions. We don't want to be attacked. We want help, we want support, we want guidance. We don't want politicians who think they know better than us, because you don't. You seriously don't. You have no idea what it's like to be a SEND or neurodiverse person. Shut up. Seriously, shut up. Like, it blows my mind how thick you actually are. As a politician, go and educate yourself. Go and spend time with SEND parents, SEND people, autistic people, neurodiverse people. Go and fact check yourself, because what you've said is basically a vile, vitriol, hateful, disgusting, discriminating crap that you pulled out of some stupid place or other. But yeah, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.